Hi everybody, it's David Kino at Basecamp Trading, and this is the 11-hour options trade that expires tomorrow on Wednesday, February 14th. It is a bearish call credit spread, selling the 27.15 call, buying the 27.20 call for 20 cents. Now, you could sell the 27.10 by 27.15 for a quarter. I prefer to have the additional distance, mainly because of the higher implied volatility. Right now, SPX is at 26.50. That gives us a 65-point cushion. So in a way, the 27.10 does not seem, that much riskier, being 60 points away. But that's up to you. This is the one I'm inputting in my system. Again, 27.15 call by 27.20 call for 20 cents, a bearish call credit spread expiring tomorrow on the 14th. All right, again, good evening, everybody. It's David Kino at Basecamp Trading, and this is the Big Fish Trading in Volatile Markets webinar. You can see that the markets have been moving around a great deal, and it's not just percentage-wise, but it's the intraday swings and the day-to-day swings. You might move 300 points on the Dow, turn around 500 points on the Dow, 30, 40 points in the S&P. It's amazing how big these swings have been in the past week and a half. That's by definition a volatile market. And a lot of traders get fearful because these swings are so big that they can be in a position and all of a sudden it can move against them. Now, the flip side of that is opportunity. You can be in a big move with good timing and have it accelerate in the direction you're expecting it to move. And that's what we call a big fish move, a big volatile, big dollar size move that you can, if you know the right technique, learn how to enter those trades risking just a little capital and have the ability to catch a big substantial move that can make a real difference in your trading. So that's what we're talking about tonight. I appreciate you again being here. All right, really quick risk disclaimer. Okay, trading or investing carries a high level of risk and it's not suitable for all persons. Now, before deciding to trade or invest, you should carefully consider your investment objectives, level of experience, and ability to tolerate risk. This content is subject to change at any time without notice and is provided for the sole purpose of education and assistance in making independent investment decisions. BasecampTrading.com has taken reasonable measures to ensure the accuracy of the information contained herein. However, Basecamp Trading does not guarantee its accuracy and is not liable for any loss or damage which may result directly or indirectly from such content or from an inability to access such information or any delay in or failure of the transmission or the receipt of any instruction or notification in connection herewith. Any past performance results are shown for illustration and example only. They are hypothetical and as such have many inherent limitations. No representation is being made that any account will or is likely to achieve profits or losses similar to those shown. Past performance is not necessarily indicative of future results. And again, Rule CFTC 4.41, this is a U.S. government required disclaimer. The CFTC wants you to know that options and futures trading has both large potential rewards and risks. You must be aware of the risk and be willing to accept them in order to invest in the futures and options market. Do not trade with money you cannot afford to lose. This is neither a solicitation nor an offer to buy, sell futures, stocks, or options on the same. No representation is being made that any account will or is likely to achieve profits or losses similar to those shown. Past performance of any trading system or methodology is not necessarily indicative of future results. All right, Thank you very much for that. I appreciate your patience. The next slide here is a little bit about me. Now, I do see some of you are my traders from my trading room. Welcome this evening. There's a lot of you that are new to me, new to Basecamp Trading. I appreciate your time today and a chance to teach you a couple of things, show you a couple of things. My name is Dave Aquino. I'm a partner here and head of options trading at basecamptrading.com. I'm a graduate at Vanderbilt University back in 1995, and I actually have 23 years of real-world market experience as first a broker, stockbroker, as an investment and advisor, a retirement advisor, and then now as a trader. I was 4 years with Merrill Lynch as a general securities broker. I started out really early at the age of 23. That gave me a very strong background in trading stocks and bonds, like bond ladders and options, and the way you use them with stocks. After I had those years with Merrill Lynch, I moved just outside of Pennsylvania, near a town called King of Prussia. And I joined the Vanguard Group, the Vanguard Mutual Fund Company. And Vanguard has a high net worth arm called Asset Management Services. I worked in the Ultra Client Group. This is where we took very high net worth client households. And I worked for 12 years as a senior options portfolio manager there. Specifically the derivatives portfolio manager and as an income generation specialist. Basically what we would do is take highly appreciated stock like GE or AT&T or something that was passed down to them for years and years, many generations. Sometimes it was new money. One of our biggest clients was the sibling of the person that started Salesforce.com. But highly appreciated stock. They never wanted to sell it. So what we would do is use options to create an income stream that the client could use for spending money and to fund whatever they needed to fund. So that's what I did for over 12 years. Then I switched gears and started becoming a trader. Okay, this is for nearly 6 years here at basecamptrading.com. I've worked as an instructor, a mentor, and a coach. We have real-world experience here as a hedge fund advisor, and money management professionals usually come to us for training and guidance. So we work within the industry, and we also work with retail traders, and I'm happy to be here tonight. Another thing is, I mentioned I worked at Basecamp Trading. I trade full-time for a living, and this is my family. I have twins, two 16-year-olds. In a year and a half, they go to college. My wife and I have been married over 21 years, and trading has allowed us to have a very comfortable lifestyle. I am very happy to say that the markets can do the same thing for you. So again, I'm very pleased to be blessed to be sitting in front of you, trading, teaching you, and teaching you how the markets can also provide you with a livelihood or anything that you want. You just have to think about it and make that a dream of yours come true. Speaking about dreams, a little bit of a background. Again, some of you I do know from my trading room. Now, some of you I don't. So let me get an idea of where you are currently with your trading. I'm going to give you 3 levels of traders, and when you see the level that's specific for you, please type the letter in yes in the questions box. That's way I get a good idea of where you are. And in that affirmation, you are identifying yourself as a trader in this particular level. Okay, the first level is you're a trader that is making money. You're doing it consistently, and pretty much you can control your income. You can make as much as you want to meet your particular goals and needs. and you can do it on a regular basis. Maybe you have a regular routine that you approach the market with, a set of trades that you go after on a regular basis. Okay, so anybody with making money pretty consistently. All right, so let's go to the next level. All right, breaking even. All right, this is when you are trading well, you know what you're doing, you're comfortable in the markets, you're trading a couple of setups, but you win some and you lose some. Okay, this type of trader is a very exciting level, because what happens is, and we encounter traders that do coaching and mentorships at this level. It's not so much the technique that they have to learn. They know that already, but it's what's between your ears. It's the mental side of trading. And the good news is, if you're breaking even or getting very close to it, it just usually takes 1 or 2 tweaks and consistent pursuit of that method, and you can quickly become a consistent winner. Okay, excellent. Thank you. A lot of you there. Now, the third level is losing money. Now, no shame in this. Everybody pretty much starts on the third level. Okay, when you first start out as a trader, you're losing money usually, mainly because you have inconsistent trading practices. You may trade a little bit of this, a little bit of that. Whatever looks hot, that's where you go. You lose much more often than you win. And then maybe your reward risk ratio is not enough to overcome that. That's why you are slowly losing money over time. Another sin of that's a hallmark of this level is that you hold on to big losses. You find yourself behind the 8 ball with a trade, and you just hold on to it just in case it turns around and goes your way. Or even worse, you add to that position, hoping that when it does turn, you'll make up your loss and more. Usually that doesn't happen. So again, if you're at this level, that's okay, because everybody starts out basically the same. All right, and to be honest, it didn't start easy for me either. Okay, remember, I was like 14, 15, 16 years in the markets, being an investor and a planner. Okay, now when you take that kind of mindset and you start trading, you find yourself not very consistent at all. Okay, a full-time trader, someone that's trying to pull money out of the market on a regular basis, is a different mindset than an investor or a financial planner. Okay, the way I did it was I actually joined a trading company called Value Charts, and Thomas Wood, and this was the precursor for Basecamp Trading. Thomas Wood was the trading room manager. And it's there where he taught me how to develop a deep understanding of price action movement and understanding how to use support and resistance levels very well. What happened was I stopped losing money. And then over time, I started to consistently be profitable. The one thing that I talked to Thomas was to take techniques that he was using in the futures markets and apply that to the world of stocks and options. And I did it so well, they actually offered me a position at the company, and here I am now, a partner and running the options and trading room. The way you can really supercharge this is that you develop a set of option strategies which are hard won and proven in the markets, and you apply those option strategies on a steady and consistent basis, generating consistent trading profits. Okay, and one of the techniques that I'm going to show you tonight is one of those option strategies. Okay, so I appreciate, again, you sharing with me where you are. For those of you that are losing money, take heart, because there's ways to realign your trading and become consistent. Those of you that are just breaking even, you guys are almost there, okay? 1 or 2 tweaks and maybe a little adjustment, and you'll be profitable. But I want to share with you this quote. This is a quote that we use a lot here at Basecamp Trading. I know I do. And it's the concept of how we teach. Is if you give a man a fish, you feed him for a day. If you teach a man to fish, you can feed him for a lifetime. The aspect of this is most important to understand is we are here to teach you how to trade. We can throw trades at you in the trading room day after day after day, and you can do well. But the entire goal of that process is to teach you the techniques and trades that we're doing and why, so that you can eventually take those as you can see those opportunities yourself, know how to pursue them, and go ahead and take those trades on a regular basis, thereby teaching you how to trade and you being able to do this for yourself without us. Okay? So again, that's why this quote is very important. As an example, a lot of the world, survives by harvesting from the sea. A common fisherman going out in a boat every day can bring in a reasonable catch like this. Not only can you feed your family and maybe extended family, but you can sell something at the market, generate some cash so you can buy the essentials that you need. Now that's a very nice way to make a living. You're on the water. You're doing a trade that can provide for yourself. But every once in a while, wouldn't you like to land one of these? Okay, this particular big guy is a giant bluefin tuna. Now, this particular tuna can bring in the right markets, $8,000, $10,000, $12,000, $15,000 for one giant fish. Okay? Think about it. If you're a fisherman doing this, but every once in a while you can bring in one of these, you can really make a profound difference in your lifestyle, right? Well, technically, we take that same mindset into our trading, and that's the purpose of this webinar today. Okay, so again, the purpose is, one, to show you the dangerous pitfalls and tremendous profit opportunities found in volatile markets. Markets that move a lot. The other thing is to introduce you to the big fish trading system. And this is a way to leverage out of the market massive gains when these big moves occur, but how to do it with minimal risk. Okay? Anybody can step in there, buy Priceline, and have a $50 stop. Do that right on the daily chart, $50 stop. If you are wrong, it is extremely expensive. Me, I'd much rather take the same trade and risk maybe $2, but still manage to have the same profit potential as the big trade. How do you do that? Well, that's what the big fish trading system is designed to teach you. Okay, here's a good example in Tesla. Okay, so Tesla, we're going along our merry way, and we have an innate support level right in this area. We find a bottom right around $360. It's almost like a channel. Now, the good thing is we already know which way the market is trending, because the slope and histogram bars on Tesla are showing a negative bearish slope. So once we break the low, we can take this trade to the downside. Okay, and this particular move is about a $46 move. Now, $46 when you're just trading individual stock, you buy 100 shares and you make, well, first of all, if you can afford 100 shares, that's a $30,000 trade. You can make a little bit of money. When you're trading with options, that same move, that $46 move, is a $3,220 profit. So $3,200 for one contract, you can get that strong directional move to the downside. Those particular options probably run about $1,500 a piece. So basically, you take a $1,500 investment, and now you have a $3,200 profit. It's not bad for a 2-day move, is it? Okay, another example. This is one of our favorites when we're trading big fish trades. Okay, you've got a head and shoulders pattern here. Left shoulder, head, right shoulder. Here is the neckline. When we break, our target are the MQ trend dots here. That's a $104 move. $104. That, my friends, is over $7,200 to the downside. Also, a 2-day move to the downside. It's actually less than that because in the afternoon we bounce up, but it gets very close to our target, significantly undervalued. We can buy puts on the break of the neckline, ride it all the way down for 2 days. $7,000 per contract. Amazing trade. All right, so let me go into some definitions. What do I mean by big fish? A big fish trade is a huge winning trade that can have a big impact on your trading account. It's designed to maximize a trade at 100% return or more using weekly options. The other thing is it's a quick trade. You want to get paid quickly. It's a swing trading time frame anywhere from 2 to 4 days in duration. And what you want to do is be quick into the trade and out of the trade with profits in hand. Okay? I mean, it's pretty cool. You can invest your money and you can hold a stock for a year and you double your money. That's great, but that's a year. What we're talking about is a trade that will last 2 to 4 days, getting the same maximized leverage return. Okay? The other thing about a big fish trade is that you're going to make huge gains with relatively little risk to your account. And we do that, very importantly, by utilizing, looking at the stock through multiple time frames. Risking small, profiting big. Okay? That's the magic of big fish trades. Learn how to risk small positions and then take advantage of big profitable moves. All right? By doing so and taking these big fish trades, these 100% gains can really boost and supercharge the growth in your trading accounts. Okay? Let me give you an example. All right? Now, let's just say you're taking trades of sufficient size that each trade you actually increase the size of your portfolio by 1%. Okay, and this is just a theoretical kind of a numerical exercise. So each trade increases your portfolio by 1%. So after 20 trades, your $5,000 account is now worth $6,100. That's a 22% return on your money across 20 trades. Now, let's take that same structure and let's do 3 trades that, again, make 1% growth in your portfolio. And then we're going to mix in a big fish trade. Every green trade here is a big fish trade. And these trades have an increase effect on your portfolio, and it increases it by 4% each time. So you can see after 20 trades, the effect of sprinkling in big fish trades is a very big difference in your portfolio. Instead of a 22% overall return, it's a 41.25% return. Okay, just over 20 trades. That is the fact is big fish trades allow you to make 87% more money. And because this is compounded growth, that will continue to magnify itself over time. Okay, big fish trades, when the opportunity presents themselves, can give you that booster shot in your trading portfolio. All right, so now you understand what a big fish trade is. Where do you find big fish trades? Well, of course, big fish stocks. All right, big fish stocks. Now, these are large dollar value stocks with large daily average true range. What this means is the stocks are relatively expensive when you look at them. Okay, and because they are expensive and have a large dollar value, their average amount that it moves high to low in a day is also big. Someone asked earlier, said, do you have to do it just in stocks? No, there are certain index-based securities like SPX that are nice big fish stocks in and of themselves. We use them all the time. Okay? The fact is, big fish stocks also make strong directional moves. Have you ever seen Amazon move 2 or 3 days in one direction and you look at it and you realize, wow, I can't believe Amazon just moved $75 in just a matter of days? That's the kind of move we're talking about. And because we use the leverage of weekly options, we can make a whole lot of money. And again, specifically, these stocks normally have highly liquid options with big implied volatilities. That kind of goes hand in hand with the large average true range. An example of the stocks that I'm talking about that are big fish stocks: Priceline, Amazon, Alphabet, which is GOOGL, or Tesla. All of them fit the definition of a big fish stock. Okay? Now, once you understand that these big fish stocks can make strong directional moves, how do you catch those big moves? Okay? These are what we call big fish opportunities, in which we can trade the big fish stocks with options, and because of the fact that their profits are based on pure dollar size of the stock price move, we can actually make a lot of money. Here's an example. If we are talking about a $1,000 stock and it moves 3%, the net move in the underlying stock is $33. The way you figure out how much money you can make on a $33 move is you multiply the dollar size move times the delta of the options that you are trading. If I think Priceline is Amazon's going to go up and it's going to move $33, I buy a delta 70 call option. Well, I can basically make $2,300 a contract. That's the math, okay? So you think about it. If you have a $100 stock, right, it moves 3%, right? $100 stock moves 3%, it moves $3. Okay? Multiply that times 70. How much do you make? $210. Well, that's fine. $210 a contract. I would still much rather have the $2,300, wouldn't you? Okay? The point is, the more it moves more dollars it moves, the more potential profits for that move. Because in both cases, the $100 stock and the $1,100 stock, they both move 3%. But the big fish stock, you can make more than 11 times the money. Does that make sense, everybody? Okay. Now remember, these big fish stocks can move easily 3 to 5% in 2 to 4 days. Okay? That is what you're trying to do. Okay? All right, so I'll give you an example. This is a trade in Google. All right? And again, these trades don't have to be earth-shattering, because all you have to do is get it to move enough. What happened is Google came down the first time, have a certain level of support right here on the pivot low, right here on the pivot low. And you can see that 1030 is a very good support level. What happens is momentum, we're watching as it approaches that level. And what happens here, we find support one day, we test it again. On the third day, we break through. Momentum is already bearish, we buy puts, and Google comes down to about $1,000. Okay? Now, if your trading is perfect, wonderful, but in this particular trade, we managed to capture 24 of the $29 of this move. So that $24 move is equal to $1,680 a contract in 2 days. In 2 days. Someone asked, what is the risk of this trade? Well, your risk is based on the cost of the option involved. Now, a trade in Google like this, It's about, if you're talking about Delta 70, normally we're talking about anywhere from $1,200 to $1,500 outlay on your money. Okay, that's how much your option costs. That doesn't mean that's what you have at risk because you have stop loss parameters, but that's how much is out of pocket. Now, guess what, guys? If I can have to put out $1,500 and in 2 days I can net profit $1,600, that's a good trade. Okay, because basically what I'm doing is I'm selling it for over $3,100 to get that profit. Does that make sense? Okay, but excellent idea. Again, because you have to know what is at risk, how much you're making. And that particular trade is over 100% gain. Again, this is what we look for normally with big fish trades. All right, so now that you've kind of seen the potential, you understand what a big fish stock is, how do you trade it? How do you actually conduct the trade? All right, again, first thing, how do you find the big moves? First thing we're doing is using multiple time frames. Okay, we're looking for big fish moves most of the time on daily charts. Okay, the charts that I've been showing you are all daily charts, whether they be reversals or breakouts. On a daily chart, when you see a move like that, that move can last anywhere from 2 to 4 days. Sometimes it's more, like 5 or 6. It just depends on the strength of the move and whether or not it's moving with the market. But 2 to 4 days is the normal move on a big fish trade. The other thing is, now once we know where the opportunity is, we can see it on the daily chart, then we zoom in. We use a small time frame for our entry trades. We're talking a 3-minute or a 5-minute time frame. The reason why we do that, and it's a mindset thing, is that entry trades, when they are breaking out or reversing, technically are safer because the stop loss level is much smaller when you use a small time frame. Okay? What you're trying to do is get your foot in the door. Okay? And then you're letting the move carry through on the bigger time frame. Okay? Once you have a position, how do you manage it? Well, basically, once you get your foot in the door, you want to let your winners run because now you have in the case of a bullish opportunity in a bullish big fish trade, you see the opportunity to break higher. So you're trading on a small time frame, you take a bullish trade, it moves in your favor. Well, what do? Do you take profits? No, you let your winners run, and as it continues to move in the direction you expect, you move up the time frame, and now you can see where, oh, I see it now on the daily chart. It's really moving like I expected to. You let that run because it does take some time, like I said, 2 to 4 days to make and follow through with that big fish move. So you have to be patient, okay? You're going to plan the trade itself on the daily chart. You're going to trail your position with stop loss orders to lock in your profits as your stock moves. Now, the key is don't strangle your trade, okay? You want to give it enough space to breathe, but you want to hold that position for bigger gains. It's going to be very difficult because chances are you're going to be sitting on a sizable position. Remember some of those trades I'm telling you, $1,500, $2,000, $3,000, $4,000 a contract. Trust me, when you get to $3,000 a contract and you've got a couple of them, it's going to look very, very tempting to take it off. You want to give your position some space. Let it move around a little bit and watch the daily momentum. That's key. As long as it's still moving to your target, it's still moving with momentum in that direction, hold the position because that way you can maximize your trades. The next thing is, how do you harvest those profits? You say, Dave, now I got all these big profits and I'm a nervous wreck. How do I take my trade off? Because I don't want to shortchange myself and make 1,000 when I could make 3,000, but then I don't want my $1,000 position to whittle down to 200. Okay? Well, basically, you're going to devise an exit strategy based on the daily chart. Because you're using the bigger time frame, it allows your trade to expand to incorporate bigger size dollar moves. Okay? Now also you can implement a strategy of taking your profits along the way. That means if you're looking at a chart, you may have to go through several levels of support and resistance. And as you hit each level, it's a profit target. It's almost like when you're traveling and you're going on vacation. You have different points along the way that you're going to make stops, whether it's something that you want to see or you stay overnight. And as you make progress, you stop every so often till you get to your destination. Well, it's the same thing with your big fish trade. Every so often, when you make a stop, and it is a good point, you take one of your contracts off as profit, and then you make some more progress. You hit the next point, and then you take another profit target off. Okay, you're letting your winners run, but along the way, you're harvesting your profits. Okay, it's much easier this way because you already have profits in your pocket. The fact is, you're never going to go into a trade with 10 contracts and sell it at maximum amount. Okay, I mean that's a really crazy way to trade. If you take profits along the way, you're going to have an easier time because you won't feel so bad if it doesn't quite get to your destination and it turns against you, and then you sell the rest of your position. You still have a very, very nice profit. Okay, and then you're just ready for the next one. All right, so let me show you one example specifically with Priceline. Okay, now I'm going to show you this trade. I mean, it's a massive trade. You're going to be very, very impressed. Actually, this is it. Right? You're looking at that and you're like, I don't see the trade. It's one bullish move. That's what you're talking about, right, Dave? I'm actually talking about the pullback. Excuse me, I had a little water here. You see this move? That's it. And that's your big fish trade. You're like, you can't make money on that. It's a pullback in the middle of a bullish trend. That trade, my folks, my friend, is a $55 pullback. Okay? And I'll show you why it's impressive. The trade setup is basically this. Priceline had been moving along for a while, actually came down and formed a 3-day bottom on a level of support. And then it starts to move higher. Now, if you're watching this move, you notice you get a series of higher highs, and at a certain point after day 2, you're hitting significantly overvalued. This is these red levels. Okay, that means it's getting overextended to the upside. Another thing is, you see the 8 EMA, the light blue line? You're actually getting further and further. The lows are getting further and further away from that line. Okay? The rubber band between the 8 EMA and the current price is getting stretched really far. Okay? What happens is when you get stretched up too far, there's a tendency to pull back. And that's what we're doing. Specifically, this thing has moved up for 8 days. That is very hard to do. All right? So what I'm doing is in the 7th and 8th day, when we're hitting these significantly overvalued levels, I'm actually looking for a way to take an intraday bearish trade. Why? Because I want to enter the trade on a small time frame and put my foot in the door with a couple of puts. Okay? Because I have a feeling we're going to get a snapback to this blue line. So what I noticed on actually both days, the first day it didn't work out, but the second day, this high comes in, the high of the day comes in about 12:30, 12:40. And then we start forming this pennant. Okay? Now the pennant is not odd, but the pennant can actually move in either direction, bullish or bearish. Well, it's actually a little easy to see the direction of this momentum, isn't it? The line is dropping. So at these highs, the moderately overvalued here And here, when it hits this descending trend line, here, I'm buying puts. Okay? By the time we get to the third high, I have a net amount of 20 put contracts. 20 in Priceline. And you notice there's a support level here. This is a descending wedge. You see it? This is one of my favorite breakout levels. Okay, momentum is going down, a descending wedge. All of a sudden, we break right here coming out of lunch. It's about 115. All of a sudden, we hit this level down here. I have a $10 profit, okay, with Delta 70 puts. So how much is that? I'm sorry, did I say $10? $5 profit. $5 times 70 is $350 per contract. Well, goodness gracious, I have 20 contracts. So I have a $7,000 profit that took me about 15 minutes to generate after the break lower. Okay, well, that's good. What do I do? Well, remember, I'm not trading a 1 minute time frame. I'm trying to get into a bearish position because I believe Priceline is going to pull back to the 8 EMA. This is just my entry trade. Okay, and my entry trade's already made me $7,000. So this is what we do. This is the 3-bar entry here. Well, it's good to hold it because we continue to fall the rest of the afternoon. And the next day, we fall. Okay? The thing about it is, I let this thing fall. We close near the low on the next day. So I sell 10 of my 20 contracts. This is a sizable move. We get in at 1310 roughly, and this right here is at 270. So this is already a $40 move. But I hold on to 10. I sell 10 and I have 10 remaining. The next day, I sell the last 10 a little bit before lunch. Why did I sell my last 10 here? Anybody remember the trade? I am trading a pullback to the 8 EMA on the daily chart. 1260 is the 8 EMA. I've traded the trade like I wanted to. I've exited. I've taken profits along the way here and here. I held the position all the way down. Guys, you know what that is? That is a $55 move in 2 days. And the profit on those 20 contracts, $63,350. And I'm in the trade probably almost 2 days in entirety. Half a day here, full day here, half a day here. Okay? And again, all it was this move from near this high to this point at which it touches. Not a bad trade. 2 days, 63,000. Okay? All right, so someone asked me before, it's like, wow, okay, well, this is something you do on a regular basis. Can anybody do this kind of trade? And some people say, it's hard to do because you're a day trader. I actually have a doctor, Dr. Theresa from upstate New York. She's an OBGYN and she runs her own practice. And she actually took this Big Fish workshop from me, and she was in a mentorship program. She interrupted a webinar one day, just like you're sitting here right now, and she typed in this really detailed note in the questions box. And I said, Dr. Theresa, what's going on? She told me she took a Priceline trade, and she took this one, and it had a sizable gain. She was asking me what I should do. And we planned it out, and she held it probably for 2-3 days. And then afterwards, she sent me a note. And I actually did worry about her a little bit, but Dr. Theresa sent me this note after she finished the Priceline trade. And she goes, wowee, I just closed my Big Fish Priceline trades today, and they expire tomorrow. and I made a total of $182,763. Now this right here, I asked her to clarify, she did this with about 35 contracts. Okay, so $182,763. She also traded SPX. Those of you that are wondering, can I trade it in something other than stocks? SPX puts, okay? And she traded it in 3 different IRA accounts, and she made $75,000. All in all, between the Big Fish strategy, that week, she made $323,000. Again, that is the $257,000, and then she also had some Big Fish trades of $66,000. Okay, and then she actually still told me she was holding the 10 more contracts right there. But the point is, this one directional move, the one that I just showed you, is what Dr. Theresa traded. What's crazy is if she held it a little bit longer, look at that move right there. That's an additional $60 move. Okay? That's an amazing number. It worked out that Dr. Theresa made about $6,000 a contract on the number 1, and here on number 2, she made about $4,500 a contract. That is not bad. Net, it's about $5,500 a contract for this directional move. Okay? Part of this move also was Priceline was moving with the overall market. And I love to trade Priceline as Big Fish trades to the downside. It works very, very well. Okay? So the key is that when opportunity arises, don't hesitate. And you've seen the volatility in the markets in the past week and a half. I truly believe you may get a little respite this week, but I think additional volatility is coming down the pike, and easily next week and the week that follows, okay? Because we're right at the tail end of earnings season. Now there's nothing to really think about. If we have any sort of news that can rock the market, we're going to get huge moves. So the question only that's left is, are you ready to move up the ladder of profitability? If you're losing money, are you ready to move up? If you're breaking even, are you looking for that last technique that can push you up to consistently profitable? Well, this is what I can offer you, okay? I am holding a Big Fish trading workshop, a revised edition here in 2018. I'm doing it on February 27th at 8 p.m. Okay, that is a little bit less than 2 weeks from tonight. Okay, normally that program is $497. Okay, but tonight I'm going to offer you that program at $147. Now, this is the link that you need to click on. It is in the chat box. So here is, I'm going to click it right now. It's www.bctnow.com/fish. Hold on. Let's see here. Make sure. Try it again. Had a little trouble loading it. So just in case if you have any trouble, feel free to go ahead, click it again. It's not going to hurt it. Must be that everybody's clicking at the same time. A Big Fish Trading Workshop. Again, put in your name, address, and payment information, and 147. Now, the other thing is what you are getting is a platinum membership trial. That's a special offer. What we're doing is giving you the 30-day trial as part of the workshop. If you need help contacting us, go to support@basecamptrading.com. The phone number is 919-935-0010. Okay, the workshop is going to be basically covering, 1, how to find which Big Fish stocks are ready to move now. Okay, I actually work with you to develop a list of about 10 to 12 Big Fish stocks that you are ready to look at. And on a regular basis, we're always watching them, seeing when they're ready to move. This workshop will teach you when it is ready. You're going to learn how to identify and project that potential profitable move. How far can it move? How strong is the potential of the trade? Okay, that is the very, very important thing, because you want to be looking and ready to trade, but you also want to know how much money can I potentially make. And when I teach you how to take your profits, that's very, very important also, how you take your profits along the way. The next thing is probably something that people find the hardest thing to do: entry trades. How do I select high quality entry trades that will allow me to catch the beginning of the move right from the start? Okay, we're going to also talk about the specialized option trades like the ones I just showed you in Priceline. How to develop a profitable position with little or no risk. Okay, little or no risk. And then, very importantly, learn how to plan your profit-taking strategy. This in and of itself will help you maximize your gains. Because what you will find, if you don't have a good strategy and you can't project in the future how you're going to take your profits, you're going to be really tempted, as soon as you get a small profit, to take it off because you're afraid it's going to disappear. But if you do it properly and see the bigger picture, it's going to be easy to maximize those gains. And along the way, what are we going to do? We're going to actually take profits on the way while you leave a portion of your position so your winners can go ahead and run. Okay? A lot of times, I'll tell you why this is important. If you have, say, 5 contracts and you're harvesting them one at a time, and you have that last runner, and you feel very comfortable, you've made a lot of money on the 4 contracts, and you just ratchet up your stop loss and you leave that last runner to go. A lot of times with big fish trades, that winner will make more money than the 4 that you already took the profits on. You just left it alone. And by doing so, you really can maximize your gains. And again, all this is available in the Big Fish Workshop. Okay, and again, the link is www.bctnow.com/fish. Again, it is in the chat box. It is in the chat box. So I hope you can click on it right there, guys. I want you to visualize one thing. All right. Remember, I showed you how to do a calculation based on the dollar size move. You take the dollar size move, multiply it by 60 or 70, and that's your profit potential. Okay? Now, if you look at the price of the workshop, $147. Do you know how many dollars it has to move in one contract in order for you to make $147? All right? It's about $2. $2.50 if you want to count commission. How many of you think that Amazon.com can move $2.50 in a day? Do you think that's a possibility? Yeah, I know it's a possibility. I saw Amazon yesterday swing through a $50 move. Okay? And crazy enough, it was an intraday big fish reversal move. Okay? But in order for you to pay for your trade, it's a $2.50 move. And the big fish stocks that I'm going to teach you, you can move $2.50 over the course of 10 minutes. All right? The other thing I wanted to point out is actually you have a money back guarantee. Someone asked me about that right now. The idea is, if you are not satisfied, within 30 days, let us know, and we will give you your money back. We'll make you whole. It's a 100% satisfaction guarantee. Okay? Also, someone asked about the Platinum membership. Yes, this is actually how we have a normal subscriber base. And this is the Elite Platinum membership. It is, what's included is 2 top flight trading rooms. Okay, normally we run these in the morning from 8 to 12, that's the futures room, and then from 9 to 1, that's my trading room in the stocks and options. You have the opportunity to watch us trade and watch us teach you how to trade, and make money on a regular basis. I always tell my traders, I have 3 goals for my trading room: that you make money and put money in your pocket every day, that you learn something, and that you have fun. If you can do those 3 things, you will enjoy yourself, you will learn something, and you'll become a better trader and enjoy your time. Okay, so that's what we do in our trading room. We actually also have, as part of your Platinum membership, a detailed morning recap and end of day traders insight videos. That's where you get a synopsis of what we're looking to trade during the day, and then at the end of day, how did the markets perform, and an outlook on how the markets may perform the next business day. Okay, we are probably, I humbly suggest, the best technical trading strategy and indicator software development company out there. We started life as an indicator development company, and all our indicators are available for TradeStation, Thinkorswim, NinjaTrader, and Bloomberg, etc. We do have some more. So they're all available there. A lot of our strategies are used very successfully by independent traders, hedge fund managers, and professional traders as a whole. Okay? Again, this is www.bctnow.com/fish. All right. So thank you very much for taking a look at that. Let's talk about what's in the water now, okay? Because a lot of our traders that come to these webinars, they say, well, that's great, Dave. Show us some examples of how we can apply what you just showed us. That's very fair. All right, I actually did this webinar over the weekend. Okay, and I mentioned that where Amazon closed on Friday was at $13.39, and then I was generally bullish on it, but it would have to move higher above the previous day's high. So if you had taken that trade and been bullish on Amazon, we actually had a big fish trade that resulted in a upward move. Now, the price I'm going to show you is as of about 2 o'clock this afternoon. But as of 2 o'clock this afternoon, Amazon had moved up by $73, up to $1,412. The thing is, it still has capacity to move higher. Okay? That $73 move was, you could have taken that trade and made over $5,100 a contract. Okay, amazing, right? Just over a day and a half in Amazon with that strong bullish move, just a break above the previous high. Okay, think about it, just one single contract. All right, the next thing is, this is where we're looking at right now. If Amazon, where it closed, maybe it's roughly 1412, well, I think it can go all the way up to the previous pivot high at 1500, right here. Right here. If we continue to have a bullish market, Amazon is going higher. Amazon was the strongest stock in pretty much in the market today. Very strong, at least with the FANG stocks in the S&P 500. Amazon was strong, and it has the ability to move up an additional $87. Guys, that's over $6,000 a contract. Probably, if the markets are bullish tomorrow, it can move up to 1,500 in the next 2 to 3 days. Okay, you have the chance to cash in at $6,000 plus a contract. Amazing here. Look at the numbers. One trade, potential trade. Look at that price. If someone said you can turn your 147 into 6,000, wouldn't it be worth it? That's an amazing difference in price. In a way, it would be a lot more fair to say, it's a $5,000 course, but you can make $6,000 with it. But that's not the case. It's only 147. Here's another opportunity you can look at. Okay, this is Google. Now, Google's a little bit slow out of the gate, but what I can see is if the market moves bullishly, you're going to have a continuation bounce. Okay, Google as of 2 o'clock today was about 1058. You have a potential to go up to 1100. Now, I'll tell you what this is. You see this pivot high, this pivot low. 1100 is a 50% retracement, a bounce right off of this and going up 50%. All right, that's a very standard trade we take. It actually has the capacity to continue higher and hit this $1,129 level, but that's not the one I'm showing you. I'm just showing you the more conservative move to 1100. And this one in a bullish market probably would take 2 or 3 days also. Okay, that $42 move higher is potentially another $2,900 a contract. $2,900 for one contract. It's a very, very nice trade. Okay, so those are the opportunities that I have to show you. Okay, so the only question is, what are you waiting for? What's holding you back? Because you have to realize now that when you have opportunity and you have knowledge, you have success. Okay, that you have the opportunity to apply specific knowledge can give you a very strong chance of success. And for $147, that is a very cheap ride for a great amount of ongoing success. Again, Dr. Theresa did not wait with her trades. She took the class, she took the workshop, and my subsequent intensive program dealing specifically with intraday trading, and it turned out very, very well for her. The interesting thing is Dr. Theresa took those profits, $323,000, and she took it, and she later on told me she took herself, her mother, and her sister to the Holy Land that Christmas, because this trade occurred a little bit before Thanksgiving, and they took an amazing trip to the Holy Land that Christmas year, and they had a wonderful time. They also spent some time in New York City with the niece and nephew and all the family for a very, very paint the town red kind of Christmas season in New York. So it's amazing what good you can do when you know how to apply certain techniques. And I'll tell you, the markets are moving right now. Sometimes someone asked me today, well, what would constitute a big fish trade? Anytime you can get a stock to move 10 or more dollars, okay, you're still using a lot of the same techniques you're using that for big fish trades. Maybe even not only on the daily time frame, but the hourly time frame, because things are so active right now. But the opportunity is there for you. It's at www.bctnow.com/fish. So again, 147. Not only will you get the upcoming Big Fish Trading Workshop, but you will also get a bonus platinum membership month. Basically, it is a trial period. After that, you will pay $97 a month that auto renews. Again, that's a very, very jam-packed with a tremendous amount of value. Again, in the trading rooms, we really focus on making money on a regular basis, teaching traders about techniques and indicators, as well as having fun. Okay, it's a whole lot of fun when you can make money with your friends and know what to do. So, again, the trading room, Tony, when we're talking about futures, and this is all Eastern time, because Thomas and I are both on the Eastern time zone, as well as this is where the New York Stock Exchange trades. So the futures room is 8 a.m. to 12 noon p.m. And then my trading room, the stocks and options room, is 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. So I actually cover the morning session, okay? Those of you that are not as attuned to the market movement, you actually have a morning session and an afternoon session. The middle, the lunchtime doldrums, usually aren't really good for taking smaller trades. So we trade when the trading is good, and that is within probably the first 3 hours of the morning, and that's when we're taking intraday trades, but also setting up for any swing trades or big fish trades that are coming down the pike. No, the 147 covers the workshop, and we will give you a free platinum membership trial. After that, the platinum membership renews at $97 a month. There's no additional cost for the workshop. The workshop is yours. The video, the slides, everything are available in your members area forever. Even if you stop the membership, you still have access to everything that you purchased in the workshop itself. Lou, this workshop is the 2018 version of the big fish trading strategies. We did have some additional income-based strategies we added on to big fish. We also had a directional credit spread type trade, debit spread type trade we added on the big fish. Now we're actually integrating that into the overall workshop, and we're actually updating our techniques. A lot of traders trade credit debit spreads because they don't have a huge account, and that's a very important part of the update. Also, we're going to talk about a specific indicator and a specific time frame that can be used on a regular basis for big fish trades. It's just one setup that you can optimize big fish trading with, and we'll talk about that also. Sure, if you make your payment today, you sure can start tomorrow. Yep. And if you have any trouble, you can contact us at support@basecamptrading.com. I'm telling you, today, one trader took this trade. And this is, I'm just talking about the, I apologize for that. Let me show you the trade, because I think I have my trade station up and available. This actually was in SPX, and this is what we call a big fish. It was a big fish size move, and it wasn't, was it today? Yes, it was today, because it was a little bit more active in the morning, and I think I passed it. There we go. Yeah, 213. So the markets were active, not really, not at the beginning of the day. So we're trading along here. We actually make a breakout move. Now the crazy thing is, it doesn't look like much, but this is our mid-morning reversal trade. And basically it's from the low of the day to the high of the day. And we actually took, it's got to be this one. This is it. All right, here, the double top. We are at 26.54. And I actually call this my retirement trade, because this is the one I teach everybody that, and I tell you, when I retire from trading and I go live on the beach, and Wi-Fi will be so good I can get it anywhere. So this is the trade. This is a mid-morning reversal trade. 26.53, moving down to 26.45. Notice the number, 53 to 45. Okay, how much of a move is that? 8 points, right? 8 points with a Delta 70 option is how much? $560. $560. And the cool thing is, one of our traders took, I think it was that trade, or they traded Amazon, which moved about the same amount at the same time. It was actually a bigger amount, made $500 a contract in the span of 20 minutes. All right, you'd be really happy if you made $250 a contract, right? Yeah, you can usually make $250, $300 on a mid-morning reversal trade, like every day. You can take that trade 3-4 times a week. You know, all you need to do is just increase the size if you need more money. Okay, over time, you just repeat the same setup. Again, that's so consistent, I actually nicknamed it my retirement trade. Because you notice, I only have to have my computer on the beach opened up to take a trade for about a 30-minute window. But that's a trade we do in our trading room every day. It's a technique that I teach in a workshop called Everyday Profits. But like I said, opportunity plus knowledge equals success. And that's what we take advantage of. I mean, if you catch one big fish trade and you can get it to move $30 or $40 and you have a couple of contracts, my goodness, that will make your month as a trader. Okay? The hardest part, and this is why Dr. Theresa contacted me in the middle of a webinar in that questions box, just like you're sitting there right now, is because the biggest trouble she had was holding on to the position. What do I do now? This number is really big. Okay, so we planned it out, she executed it, and she walked away with 300,000 plus. It's a very nice way to enter the Thanksgiving season. Does the trial include the futures room? Absolutely. Thomas Wood, again, it was my original instructor. Okay, he taught me price action trading. He taught me how to read support and resistance. I just took what he taught me and applied it to the stocks and options world. We have traders that go back and forth. They go back and forth between the rooms because it's all included. Do the indicators work in TC 2000? Unfortunately not, GB. The reason is TC 2000 is a closed platform. They don't allow external indicator developers to access the code under which they can we can create indicators to use on their platform. Okay, that's why we work with TradeStation, we work with Thinkorswim, we work with NinjaTrader. There are a couple of more out there. If you have something specific, you can always ask us on support at basecamptrading.com. Do we have an evening service product? You know, Sarita, that's a very good question. We actually have traders that can maximize these trades, because remember, we have very detailed morning market recap videos. And then we have end of day setup videos. The end of day setup videos that we use and we record for you talk about swing trading opportunities. Also, any big fish trades out there are focused on in that end of day video. A lot of times I may not use the term big fish, but as an example, right now, let me just plop down a particular stock. Maybe I can help you. Okay, so here we go. This is SPX. Now, what I'm actually looking for is a break above the 8-day EMA. And right now, that's 26.76. If we can manage to break higher, I think it's going back up to the 50-day, which is currently 27.09. So you're looking for a move from 26.76 up to 27.09. That is a $35 move. A $35 move. Well, guess what? The entry point is a break above the previous day's high, because you see how momentum is starting to move higher. Okay? If you look at the 60-minute chart, you actually will see that momentum on the hourly is already bullish. All we need is have a breakout to the upside. I would wait for the breakout. Okay? I would wait for a break above the 8-day EMA and catch this move. It might look small, but it's $35. Okay, a $35 move is roughly $2,500 per contract. It's amazing, isn't it? Just a small move. And you can plan that out based on the end of day videos. Does E-Trade Pro platform, does it have similar tools? Unfortunately, no. Our indicators are actually specialized tools that we develop for hedge fund professionals, professional traders, and ourselves. A lot of people, especially the tools that are given to you for free, I mean, they work well if you know how to use them. But the thing is, most people adapt their trading to the indicators. We actually create indicators to support the way we trade. It's a fundamental mind shift that's different from us than anybody else. Okay? If I'm trying to trade a breakout trade, well, I'm trying to verify, one, the consistency of the move, that momentum is sufficient, that it's not going to be a head fake. I also want to know how momentum is accelerating, and we can use that. If we're trying to trade a reversal, I want to know if it's oversought and overbought or oversold. I want to know the volume structure. Is it low volume or is it heavy volume? Those kind of things. And we know how to, and you notice the green and red levels on these bars. This is called value bars. That's a proprietary indicator that we have. So we know that is it significantly undervalued, significantly overvalued, or fair value. And knowing how to use this in combination with the other indicators give us an extremely good ability to understand price action. And that price action and understanding breakout levels like the ones I just told you give us a very clear indication of how the breakout will start and where the target is on the directional move. Another thing is, with this move here, if we break through the 50-day, the next target is 2761, these dots up here. So if we manage to break 27.15 with a lot of bullish momentum, you actually have $45 more in that move. So you could actually, between the $35 here and the $45 here, you have potentially an $80 move in SPX. And that really still constitutes about a 50% retracement. It's amazing how big this potential move is. And $80 is, what's that, over $5,500 a contract. Just trading one SPX call. A Delta 70 in the money one. How early can you call in the morning? Larry, give us a call, say, by 8 o'clock. That would be fine. What you can also do, if it would help you, go ahead and call now. Go ahead and call now, leave a message, or feel free to send an email. We'll be happy to help you. Do I use scanners to find the setups? Actually, with big fish trading, because of the definition of a big fish stock, you actually have a relatively small group of stocks you need to keep an eye on. So you become very, very familiar with those stocks. You don't need a scanner. And I'll be honest with you, using a scanner is going to, at pretty much at any time, is going to put you in a bind, okay? If you see a breakout because your scanner is telling you it's breaking out, do you know really why it's breaking out? It could be a breakout on good news, which is traditionally how it happens. It could also be something that's temporary. You know, what's the quality of the information? Is it going to persist? Is it based on anything like a break of support and resistance? That's very important, because if it's not truly breaking out and you're just trading because your scanner tells you to move, is your scanner going to tell you when to get out? Okay, you have to really understand what you're doing. I mean, a lot of our traders like to focus on that. For me personally, we really like to get intimately understand the stocks that we trade, especially when it's stocks, because you have a lot of market, You got enough trouble with market-specific risk, but you throw in there stock-specific risk or company-specific risk. You have to understand. Let me ask you, why is CMG falling all the time? You may look at that and say, that's a significant drop. Why is CMG falling all the time? Well, over time, you're going to realize that, a year ago, they were having rats and stuff fall from the ceilings. People were getting sick in their stores. And it's very hard to trade CMG in a bullish direction because of the fact it's having some trouble. Like now, CMG's up 26 after hours. Why? Probably because it had earnings. Okay? Things like that. So try to stay away from scanners. I think it's a bit of a crutch that a lot of traders use because they find it a little difficult to kind of master aspects of trading that that you need to master in order to be consistently profitable for long periods of time. Because eventually the premise under which a scanner is programmed to give you a signal, eventually the markets change and the scanner doesn't. So, just telling you. Are the indicators offered for toss with the workshop? No. The key is you actually need very few indicators to trade the big fish strategy. A lot of what I'm going to teach you is based on breakouts of support and resistance levels and understanding how momentum is moving. Okay? To have a good high quality set of indicators helps you implement the trade and maximize the trade, but they're not essential for you to have right at the beginning. The one thing is that there are a few that I'm going to recommend. You may get some additional opportunities to purchase them once you enroll in the program. But the key is this, and a lot of our traders do this. They'll enroll in the workshop, they'll get involved with the trading rooms, they'll very quickly develop an affinity for the way we trade, and then at that time when it makes sense, maybe after they've made some money in the trading room, made some money with the workshop knowledge that they've gained, they'll slowly invest in specific indicators that help them trade better the style that they like to trade the best. Does that make sense? If you work on cars, you don't know what you're good at. Are you good at engines? Are you good at the chassis? Are you good at painting the cars? Well, if you have a different specialty, you don't need all the same tools. You need a specific tool for a specific job to help you maximize your performance in that area. So that's just an example. If I'm trading breakout trades all the time, I may need to emphasize certain indicators that help me understand and clearly see breakout trades and how to catch trending markets. If I really like reversals and understand for divergences very well, there's a different set of indicators that may help me with that also. Now, some of those indicators overlap, but over time you'll learn what that is. Thanks, Larry. All right, Billy. Those indicators in Thinkorswim, they're useful. They're a little bit different than what we use. A lot of times you'll find that squeeze and that wave indicator actually do very similar things. It actually does some things. Okay, wait, let me put it this way. The squeeze does one thing. The waves are actual, they're momentum indicators with a built-in lag. It's basically what it is. And that's fine if you know how to use it well. The main thing is you're trying to catch breakout trades very well. Rick, do me a favor. If you are having some trouble with an indicator, send an email to support@basecamptrading.com. And in the subject, please put, help me with indicator. And you can put the name of the indicator there. Min, who is our MINH is his name. He is their customer support manager. He's very, very good at helping you get that up and running on your platform. Yeah, he's very good at that. Now, it is 9:30 on the East Coast, so he's in Raleigh, North Carolina, so he probably won't be able to contact you tonight, but that's why I said send him the email. He can prioritize you with that. I appreciate you doing that. Yeah, he's very, very good. A lot of times he hops right onto your computer, does it for you. Sorry for the trouble. Is it profitable to trade the VIX? It's a very, very good question, and it doesn't surprise me for someone to ask that question, mainly because the VIX, it can be seen as a big fish trade. Now, the thing about it is, it's a big fish trade not because of the dollar value. It's a big fish trade because the percentage move is so huge compared to the regular price. Now, I will tell you why VIX, VIX, and UVXY, and all those other forms of VIX volatility ETFs, they're very hard to trade. Because the VIX is a fear index. And what happens is when there is an initial out-of-the-blue event, like the spike in interest rates, and the markets drop very quickly. It comes out of the blue. It causes a scare in the VIX. That's what happened here in the first couple of days of February. We jumped up from a level of about 10 all the way up to 50. Now, we had subsequent pullbacks. Do you see how we only go up to 40? And the next one will probably go up to 30. And then the next one will probably go up to 20. People are not afraid of that drop in the market. Okay? So what happens is, here you are, you're seeing the market drop 2%, and you're wondering, why is the VIX not moving very much? Because the market and the VIX have gotten used to that negative bearish move. Okay? What was going on in the month of January? It was going straight up from December 29th all the way to the end of January. And all of a sudden, here comes February, and got slammed all the way down. We lost everything we gained in January, like in 2.5 days. That's a good cause for that move. Okay? Now, the reason why it's difficult to do that is because you would actually have to maintain a position in the VIX, a bullish position, just in case something scares the market. Okay? I'll show you something. Do you see, and this looks like a lot. Do you see how flat this is? And every once in a while, you'll go from 10 to 12, 10 to 15, okay? Every once in a while. The thing is, if you're going to maintain a leveraged position, you're going to have an option that basically has time decay. So to have that on and for it not to make those moves is that you actually spend money just maintaining the position. Okay? And the fact is, when you get a big spike like these options really jump. Now, again, here we go, consolidating, not moving at all, and all of a sudden there's a spike. There's a spike right there. Okay? Chances are, by the time you take action, the spike has already moved up to 35, to 40, to 45. You have very little left in order to profit. In order to maximize this profit, you would have had to buy down here. Okay? But that's a very good question. It's very pertinent to what we do. But it's also, this is not a tradable pattern. Okay? Almost at no time did you know that this was going to break to the upside. Whereas if we are trading a channel, a squeeze, a compression in Google or Apple, or Netflix, something like that, and we start to see the breakout of that compression and consolidation, that's a trade we can take because we're looking for it. And it can move, 10, 12 points, and we can make $700, $1,000 a contract and do very well with our big fish trades. Okay? But thank you for that question. That's an excellent question. Okay? If anybody has any questions or any difficulties at all enrolling into the Big Fish Trading Workshop, feel free to go ahead and contact us, www.bctnow.com/fish. Remember, this is an extremely reasonable tuition cost for a potential move of $2, $2.50. You can not only cover your position, your enrollment fee, but now you're in a position to catch moves of $8, $10, $15, $20. Again, I've shown you a couple, one in Google, one in Amazon, $30, $40, $50. I even showed you one in SPX, can move up to $75. Take advantage of what the market's setting up to give you, okay? And just realize you can enroll and you have a 30-day money-back guarantee. We want you to maximize your profitability. We don't want your fear or worry about the cost to hold you back. Come join us, join our trading room, take part of what we do. You're going to find that Basecamp trading is completely different from those trading rooms you've been in before, where they kind of grunt every once in a while and show you a trade. Again, we try to make you money, teach you something, and let you have fun. Okay, so I hope you join me. I'll be in the trading room tomorrow. Again, it's www.bctnow.com/fish. Okay, take advantage of our wonderful opportunity at 147, and I look forward to seeing you in the workshop and in the trading rooms to come. Thank you, everybody.